I have lived long enough to stop believing that good people are protected from pain. Sometimes, they are chosen for it. When you reach a certain age, you stop asking why life is unfair. Instead, you start noticing who life tests the most. I noticed this through a man named Thomas. Thomas worked at the same factory for years. Always early, always dependable. When others complained, he adjusted. When others cut corners, he didn't. People trusted Thomas without ever questioning why. And then one winter morning, the factory gates stayed closed. No warning, no explanation, just a notice on the door. Thomas stood there quietly, reading the notice again and again. Others shouted. Some cursed their luck. Thomas said nothing. Weeks later, I saw him again. He was thinner, tired, but still calm. Temporary, he said. I'll manage. Then came the hospital visits. Then the bills. Still, Thomas never complained. That was the part I couldn't understand. One evening, we sat together outside the building where we lived. The air was cold. I finally asked him, "Do you ever feel angry?" Thomas looked at the ground for a long moment. "Every day," he said. "But anger doesn't change tomorrow." That answer stayed with me. Months passed. Others found new jobs quickly. Some took shortcuts. Some lied their way ahead. Thomas stayed behind, not because he was slow, but because he refused to become someone else. Mrs. Ann noticed him one afternoon. She watched him help someone carry groceries even while struggling himself. Later she said to me, "Life tests the strongest vessels first, not to break them, but to see how much they can carry." Something changed in Thomas. Not outwardly, inwardly. He stopped explaining himself, stopped comparing. He focused on small things he could control. Helping, learning, staying steady. People began coming to him not for solutions, but for calm. I realized then, suffering had not made him small. It had made him solid. One evening, Thomas said quietly, "Easy lives teach comfort. Hard lives teach compassion." That was the moment I understood. Good people don't suffer because they are weak. They suffer because life trusts them with deeper lessons. Suffering is not proof that goodness fails. Sometimes, it is proof that goodness is being strengthened. Good people suffer not to be punished, but to be prepared. If this story touched you, share it with someone who is quietly carrying more than they show. If you are doing right, and life still feels heavy, stay steady. Some lessons are given only to those strong enough to endure them.